exciting time of year here in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. You know, the NFL has their playoffs, the NCAA has the Final Four, NASCAR has the chase. Well, in sports cars, we have Petit Le Mans. It is truly one of the endurance classics, but it comes at the end of the season. What does that mean for teams and drivers? Well, it is your final chance to set your course on where you're going to finish in the championship. And every year, nearly every category comes down to a defining moment in this 10-hour enduro. And of course, in prototypes, it's all about the Taylor brothers. In this, the number 10 DPI prototype. And in GTLM, it's a battle of the titans. The biggest manufacturers in the world are battling it out with some of the world's top sports car drivers. It's going to be an epic, so I thought I'd go and find out what's it going to take to win the championship. But first, you've got to win the race. We're here with Ricky Taylor, and Ricky, you've had a season where, well, let's face it, it was dominant, right? Out of the box dominant, and then you have that mid-season dip, and it was a very big moment for the team and you and your brother to regroup. You're on a high again coming to the end of the year. How does that feel? How does it feel coming to Petit Le Mans?
It's really exciting. I think, you know, that mid-season dip was really an awakening for us. I think it was a bit of a reality check, especially after winning 5 straight to start off the season. And in sports car racing, you really have to put it all together. It's not like going to the Super Bowl where you start with a clean slate. You're going to the playoffs or something. So really that mid-season dip was scary, but good race at Road America. Head to Petit and hopefully close it up.
You know, you have such a moments of dominance out there, but it takes one moment of a mistake, whether it's in the pits, whether it's by you guys, whether it's by someone else. How do you sort of calibrate that internally and not let yourself tighten up?
Yeah, I mean, the team has been performing so well all year, and just tiny little issues have almost taken us out of the championship, and that's the margins you're playing with in sports car racing these days. You have to take risks to win races, and to get the results you have to take some risks, and oftentimes the difference between, you know, winning a race and not finishing at all is, you know, slight miscalculation. So to finish the season with a 10 hours, it's cruel on the teams and drivers, because it's so difficult. And at the beginning of the year in the 12-hour, you don't know what the situation of the championship is yet, so you go out there, you take your risks, and you know, however the cards fall, they fall. So at the end of the year, everyone knows what's at stake, and everybody feels the pressure, and everybody, you know, is on their game. All the other teams, you know, want the championship bad, and you're being chased down, and that just adds a whole nother dimension to the situation.
As exciting as the prototype category is, it's really in GTLM that we are seeing sports car racing on steroids. You see, when you have some of the world's top car manufacturers all trying to prove their own superiority, it becomes almost a case of national pride. Because what they do on the racetrack definitely has a reflection on car sales on a Monday morning. It really is the old adage, win on Sunday, sell on Monday. And when it comes to the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, these big manufacturers have a lot to prove. And at Petit Le Mans, the championship is coming to a very sharp point. We have Corvette, Ford and BMW all trying to win this very prestigious category. Obviously, one of the fan favorites in GTLM are the Ganassi Racing Ford GTs. And Joey Hand, you know, so far this through the season, it's really been about individual race wins. You know, you start off going, I want to win Daytona, I want to win Sebring, go to Long Beach. But as we come into Petit Le Mans, obviously the game has changed. It's all about winning a championship for the manufacturer, for the drivers. How does that sort of change internally for you?
I'm one of those guys, I always go to win. My dad always said championships will come if you win the races, you know? So I'm always a guy that I have a tough time watching championship points. I really don't do it. You know, for sure, Daytona was one of those ones we wanted to win. After winning Le Mans last year, we were like next on the list for Ford, for Chip was winning Daytona. So that, we got that early, that was great. You know, we had some issues in between there, and then we got another win at Road America, and you know, I still think we're in a win situation. You don't want to be racing with points here at the very last race, because you know, there's too many good cars. This
is a 10-hour race though at Petit Le Mans, which of course has its own set of variables. Not just that you can do wrong or other people can do wrong, strategy, weather is always plays a big part of a team. Ending the year with such an enduro classic, that's tough, isn't it? That makes it tougher than normal.
Well, it is, because especially, like, it's one thing if you got the championship wrapped up, right? And then you could just kind of like, oh, let's have some fun at Petit, right? But when you're coming into such a dogfight with so many cars that could win, then it changes everything, because yeah, you got 10 hours to have something go wrong. You have day and night time. You have headlights, and and Petit is one of the toughest races, actually. I mean, people probably don't give it enough credit for how difficult it is. Yeah. I mean, yes, Daytona is 24 hours and Sebring is 12 hours, but they always say it's harder than 24 hours. And Petit is only 10 hours only, but it really is hard. It's a tough track to pass. You have a lot of cars. When it gets dark, prototypes are barreling down on us quickly, and they put you in awkward situations while we're trying to pass GTD and race ourselves. So in the GTLM class, we kind of are in the middle of everything, trying to do, you gotta have eyes in the back of your head, the side, everywhere, and still go out and fight those guys for the win. So I think it's a tough one, but that's what makes it perfect to end on, because it's already an intense championship. The IMSA WeatherTech Championship is crazy difficult and crazy competitive with all these different teams and manufacturers and drivers. But to end on that is just like, yeah, let's make it difficult, and that's what it is.
Petit Le Mans, in some ways, doesn't get the full credit it deserves as a truly tough motor race. Yes, it's 10 hours. Yes, it's at the end of an already very tough season, but it's far more than that. The stakes are incredibly high, and that puts the pressure on everybody involved. The drivers for sure, but what about their crew members? What about the technical people? What about the support crews? What about the people that have to feed them? Everybody has to be on their A game, because there's big money at stakes. For the car manufacturers, as I said, it's about honor. For drivers, it's about career tributes and winning. But for the fans, it's about an incredible motor race. And that, for you and I, is what Petit Le Mans is going to be all about in 2017.
Catch the entire 10 hours of the Motul Petit Le Mans on FS Go.